Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Positively Disney Phone-In Show. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, the author of the Positively Disney book series and the host of the show from where these books and all these stories stem from. I'm so glad you could join me today. Welcome to my Facebook folks and my Twitch followers as well. I don't know about you guys, but it's a pretty darn nice day up here in Seattle, almost summer like, and I'm so grateful. Having to be indoors, we can still be outdoors, taking a walk once in a while or in our backyards. And I'm very grateful for you to join me today. Since I saw you last week, I've done a few Disney things because we're kind of at this point where we're anticipating an opening. Not too sure when, but we know it's going to come down the line. And before I go on, I just want to thank my sponsor, Michelle McCune, over at Years of Experience. If you want to reach out to her at MMCKEOWN at themouseexperts.com. She will put together a vacation that fits your budget, fits your needs, your specific needs, and she has text access. So you can text her at any time during your vacation that you might be dreaming about, down the road a little bit. But I just want to welcome Dave and Taylor. I see you've joined me this afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are. So, as I said before, we go on with our guest. We have done a lot of Disney things in our house as of late because if you are like me, you are missing your Disney fix. And I know that it was Dapper Days on officially April 19th yesterday. So I wore my Pixar dress and I thought it was kind of fun. It was a little bit different to be able to dress up at home, actually. And I've since made Tonga toast from the Polynesian resort. I've made some pretty fun, epic mini Mickey waffles, pumpkin waffles from one of my cookbooks. Um, yeah, I was looking through some old photos from my trips, in the past, which was really a lot of fun. And I started watching it was, I have to finish watching it, of course, but do any of you guys remember the show, The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes? Actually, it was a movie with Kurt Russell when he was probably all of 15 years old. Anyways, it's a hoot. It's on Disney Plus. It's in black and white, and you'll recognize some of the characters in there from other sitcoms from the 60s and the 70s. But anyways, I started watching sort of some of those older shows as well. And one of the things that really was a biggie in our family this week is we got a new little one. New little four-legged one, actually, a little dachshund. And it was an interesting story how she came to us, but she ended up being 2 hours drive away from us. And so my husband and I donned our masks. We'd already sorted it out that we were going to get her. I gave her to my husband for Easter because he really missed his wire-haired dachshund that we had rescued many years ago when we lived in Canada. And it was super fun. It was super fun to actually have him name her because being a gift, I said, you go ahead and you name her. So these are the three names he had picked out for her. And maybe at the end of the show, I can get my tech guy to bring her on here. But anyway, so one of them was Kevin from the movie Up, when everybody's like, Kevin's a girl, it was kind of fun. And Cora was another name, Quora. And Cora was Flynn's assistant in Tron. Flynn, who had gotten into Tron. And we have a golden retriever named Flynn. And then the third one that he had chosen was the one that we actually went with. And her name is Gosselin, Gosalyn, Mallard Bouchard. And I had no idea that character was that character even existed. Here, Gosselin is you remember Darkwing Duck? I've got actually. Oh, you can't really see Darkwing Duck in my back. I'm shaking my whole podcast room around this week, by the way. So next time you see me, things are going to be a little bit different. But anyways, So Darkwood Duck's adopted daughter is Gosselin Mallard. And my husband was showing me the cartoon. It was priceless. So anyways, we have a little Gosselin, and she's a real sweetie. She's a standard size dachshund. We have miniature ones, and she's just a big bundle and cuddle bug of love. So I'll bring her in, I think, at the end of the show. I want to say hi to my hubby who's watching, Heather. Michael Flynn, thank you. Thank you. Blessings on you guys too out in Michigan. Janet Ramirez, yes, it was great. Yes, you remember the computer who wore tennis shoes. Christine, thank you for joining me. Donna, of course, and Francesca and Chad. Hi, Chad. Chad is kind of my neighbor in a neighboring city about, I'd say, Chad, are you about 15 minutes away? And darn it, if we haven't been trying to go for coffee for, I think it's been a couple of years now. And now that you can't go, it makes it, you make sure that you're going to go the next time the opportunity presents itself. Also, welcome to Lori for joining me. So I don't know about you guys, but I remember many years ago when we had our kids at Walt Disney World, particularly, and some of the tours there were absolutely fantastic. And I remember that this one tour we had wanted to do, it was a Keys to the Kingdom tour. It was sort of the behind the scenes tour. And there's also a Segway tour through Epcot. And the you had to be 16 years old. And I remember waiting for years, probably about, oh dear, I think it was probably maybe 10 years for our youngest to turn 16. And one of the tours didn't exist anymore. Another tour we wanted to do, and we'll have to try to get into it, is walking in Walt's footsteps in Disneyland. I think it would just be absolutely wonderful. And I'll never forget, because you have to be a certain age as well with that one. And when our youngest turned 16 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago now, it was all booked up. We haven't been able to make it in yet. So anyways, I want to just welcome David, welcome to Jane, and welcome to Leah. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. So I want to introduce my friend, Donna Dark Collins. She is a Disney darling, and we honestly, when I heard she had done 22 tours in Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and she's actually done some of them multiple times, I was enthralled. So we're just going to get Donna on the line here now and hear all about it. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, of course. I mean, I was just telling the audience that when I found out that you have done 22 tours, I was like blown away, first of all. And then even to get things better is that you've been on them, some of them multiple times. And the fact that, I mean, so Donna, to let the audience know, Donna lives, her home base is Disneyland, but she has ventured out the other way to Walt Disney World as well. And so I'm going to open it up to Donna and take us away on a magical journey of tours today.
Oh, wow. No pressure. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll help you a bit.
I started going on Disney tours about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I just discovered them. I didn't know that people could take them, and they were different themes and stuff like that.
Oh.
And I think the first one I went on was the Happiest Haunts tour during Halloween time.
Okay.
And it was really wonderful because they theme everything. They take you around in a very small group, and you all get little buttons with your name on them, and they're themed to the tour, and you get to carry a little earpiece with you on the trip.
Okay.
So you can hear the plaid.
Your tour guide. Yeah.
The guest tour guide. Yes.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to shout and yell. They have a microphone, and it's all kind of tuned into your little pack that you wear in the earpiece.
Okay.
So if you see those people walking around, that's what they're doing.
Okay. Now, which park was that at, Donna?
This is at Disneyland.
At Disneyland, okay. And now is that
Yeah,
a
I don't think they have it at Disney World, at Walt
okay.
Disney World.
Okay. I was just wondering if it was at Disney California Adventure, Disneyland, but it makes sense because the Haunted Mansion is at Disneyland, right? Is that kind of
Right. Well,
why? Or
they do kind of
mm.
cross over to California Adventure
Oh,
on the
okay.
tour,
Oh, okay.
and for the Halloween one, like I said, you get to trick or treat. So we went over one time over to California Adventures to trolley treats, and everybody in unison says trick or treat,
Oh.
and they have a nice big piece of pumpkin fudge for us to take.
Oh.
And yeah,
Oh.
it's really good.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my
Or if you
goodness.
go over to Candy Palace over at Disneyland, they have a chocolate and caramel dipped pumpkin marshmallow that you guys can have.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's different every time.
Okay.
It's really fun.
So is that done in the nighttime then, Donna, or is it the daytime or both?
Different
Or
tours have different times. They have one tour that lets you go on the Disneyland Railroad, and that's
okay.
only in the mornings because
Okay.
they serve like coffee and donuts, and you get to go on the Lily Bell.
Oh, that sounds
I
absolutely lovely. Oh,
Yes.
and so
So if you
what?
love trains, that's a great one to go on.
Yeah, and so the purpose of the happy haunts is what?
Yes.
Like what is that? What's yeah.
During the most of the tour, they're really great about telling different lore of Halloween and how it came about and how we have, why do people wear the costumes? Why do we carve pumpkins? And why are they called jack-o'-lanterns?
Okay.
And they really try to give a history as well as, go to different things around the park. Of course, you get to go into the Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
We've also been on like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Mm.
So Snow White's Scary Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to really theme the things that you go on and the things that you see um,
Mm.
to the tour. And also one year they had it like a cocoa themed. So they had like a pond bread, which is like the bread of the dead.
Okay.
And it was either, you could have it either sweet or a savory. So
Okay.
it was really nice.
Yeah. So
And
I
they have
did not
a
yeah.
different pin every year.
That I think that's really neat because I thought that most tours were sort of the same thing over and over, and people would just go on them again and you might get another little piece of information, but that's actually a bit different each time.
Yes, the holiday
Okay.
ones are usually different. There's also one at Christmas time, and that
Oh.
one's different every year. Except at the end, you get to sit in real chairs for the holiday parade, and they serve you hot chocolate in a souvenir mug that you get to keep, and then you
Ah.
get a gingerbread cookie.
Oh,
So
gee.
it's really lovely. And every year
Ah,
the pins are different. So if you went on it last year and you go, oh, it's the same old thing, you get a different trading pin every single time. So they're
nice.
fun to collect.
Oh, I love that idea of sitting and watching a parade and having hot chocolate
Yes.
and a gingerbread cookie. I mean, that's fantastic.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah.
I have to do that the next time, or something, whether it's at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, because I know they have those dessert parties in that. Which we actually the only dessert party we ever did was at Epcot one time for Illuminations. But by the time the parades come on, your feet are tired, and it's a real
Yes,
privilege to be able to sit
absolutely.
down and
No,
yeah.
I highly recommend the dessert
Okay.
party for World of Color at California Adventure.
Yeah.
That is the only way I will watch World of Color.
Okay.
Like you said, I do not want to sit on the cold ground. I don't want to be crowded with a bunch of people and squished and
Yeah.
everybody's trying to take pictures and
Yeah.
their cell phones are in your face.
Okay. Yeah.
This is, you sit at chairs, you can sit at a high table.
Yeah.
They bring you drinks. Oh yeah, that's the way to go.
And you
Absolutely.
know what? When our family went to Disneyland all together for the first time, I mean, I'd been there separately. Jacques and I were my husband. For anybody out there who doesn't know, we were there, by ourselves. I think for one day, but our whole family for the very first time went last June, and we did the dessert party for the World of Color. It just made it even better.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just forego something in my day-to-day life to save my money for that. It's not super expensive. It's expensive, but
Absolutely.
it's
No,
just
I
worth
completely
it.
agree. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's somebody, Heather, on here says she loves the Christmas one at Disneyland, and the reserve parade seating was fantastic, she said.
Yes.
So she's been there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Worth the price of the tour alone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I guess, yeah. So tell us, so what other ones have you been on then?
I've also been on the Cultivating the Magic tour, which talks about all the different plants and flowers that are planted all around the resort and
Oh,
how they interact with the different themes that they're trying to convey at the different attractions,
oh,
such as the Haunted Mansion. They do not have any like flowers. Everything there is
right.
planted. It's very gray and it's supposed to be, very dead
Dead
looking. And the
looking, yeah.
only flowers that, yeah, and the only flowers they do have there are calla lilies, which are basically
Oh,
known as funeral flowers.
oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it just all kind of goes together. And they also, if you know that there's a skunk in the cemetery out in front in the line queue at the very end, right before you turn the corner to go back into the back and forth queue.
Okay.
There's
Yep.
a little skunk statue right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And they planted flowering garlic. So it stinks. So the skunk stinks.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
They think of everything. I know.
That's for sure. Well, you know what? The calla lily brought, just a kind of an aside. I remember my husband getting me a calla lily plant for our 5th anniversary. But I mean, there's
Oh
no
my.
significance. I love calla lilies. I just sort of thought it. I'm like, there's nothing, no bad intentions. And it's funny. Well, not really funny, but I had to leave all my plants behind when I left Canada. And that was my beautiful
Yeah.
plant that I'd been watching for years.
Oh,
And then I asked
yes.
my mom the other day how it's doing. She goes, I didn't want to tell you, but it died. So, anyways,
Oh,
that was just an aside. It was just funny that you mentioned calla lilies because yeah. Anyways, thanks, husband.
yes.
But anyways,
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
oh, I'm gonna watch next time I go to the Haunted Mansion and really look, because I thought that a lot of that foliage was fake actually, but it's not.
No, that it's all real.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, huh?
And it's supposed to be very gray. It's supposed to be,
Yeah,
not,
not
there's no
life.
life
Yeah,
there. That's what
yeah.
you're supposed to get from that. And they
Oh,
do that at all the different attractions. Once you
okay.
start noticing, you're like, oh, I completely get it. And there's also a Disneyland rose that was created in 2002, and it's planted around the Dumbo ride. And it's also in the planter that goes along the rivers of America in New Orleans Square. It's
Oh,
kind of like a corally pink color, and it's from Jackson and Perkins. And you can buy it online. I have one of them, of course, in my yard. But
oh,
yeah,
wow.
I love that tour. I went on it 3 times. They don't have it anymore, but I
Oh,
wish they
they
would bring it
don't.
back.
So you know what? I was
No,
going to
I'm
talk.
sorry.
Yeah, you know what though? I am wondering that if, people that are watching and hear about these tours that wouldn't have known that they existed, and plus if some of them aren't even there anymore, maybe we can all write to the
Right.
powers that be and ask for them back, like
Well, one of my
yeah.
friends said that she heard from a little bird that they were going to be bringing some tours back for the summer.
Yay.
So
Oh, okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. I think tours are good.
Yeah.
Because it gives more well, it just enhances the experience, I think. It's not like it ruins
Absolutely.
the magic or anything. I think it really enhances. I'm
No.
Yeah, I'm curious to know for the cultivating tour,
The magic. Uh huh.
cultivating the magic, which I love. That's a great name. Um
Yes.
did they uh do show you about any of the oh gosh, what are they called now? The forms that they create, the topiaries that they create. Did they tell you anything about those, or
Oh, well, yeah, actually they did. It was Walt Disney went to his horticulturist at the park and he said, I want to have all these animals around Small World when it opens.
Ah.
And I need you to make me all these animal topiaries. And
Mm.
he said, well, gosh, Miss Walt, I can't do that. It takes years and years to
Ah.
grow a topiary.
Right.
And so he had to figure out how to make a topiary in a very short amount of time.
Mm.
So he made a wire form and then had the plant grow from the inside to the form and then just cut around the
Oh, trimmed it.
the chicken wire form. And so
Oh.
he had it in record time. And that is like a standard way of doing topiaries now. And
Ah.
he created that.
My goodness. Well that gives me a few ideas. I'm not sure what the character would look like because I'm not a sculptor or anything. I don't know. I can try to bend the mesh wire a
Well, if
certain way,
you
but
do go to some nurseries, you will see that they do have that chicken wire form, and then
right.
they have the plants that are growing on the inside.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if it'll look like
That
Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse by the time I'm finished with it. That's my only. Oh,
I'm sure you can figure it out.
we'll see. Oh my gosh. So that's okay. So we're 2 tours down.
Okay. Well, like in the Christmas one.
Oh, three.
So there's
Three. Yes. Okay.
They used to have a Welcome to Disneyland tour, which was only
Oh.
$20. And when you took it, they just kind of showed you around, and you got about 4 fast passes to any attraction that you wanted to use it for.
Oh.
So that was really nice. And then they would also make reservations at a restaurant for you. So it
Nice.
was, and you also got a trading pin. So it was a really nice tour
Yeah,
to introduce people to the park.
well, because it's overwhelming when you walk through those gates. I mean, there's people, there's noise, there's smells, there's colors, there's a lot going on, and
Oh yeah.
to be shown around, that's really. So I'm just curious, what's the time frame for some of these tours you've been telling me about, Donna? How long does it take?
They're usually 2 hours.
Oh,
They're usually 2 hours.
Oh, so that's easy to do then and fit it into your day.
Yeah, and you walk around and you get to go on about, 3 different attractions, and they walk you on. You don't have to wait in any lines.
Nice.
And you just get a lot of information. I've taken the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour 3 times.
Oh.
And the first...
Oh, sorry. I still want to get on that one.
And for the first 2 times I went on it, we got to go up to the Dream Suite up above Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And we got to learn a lot of history in there, and it was just absolutely gorgeous up there. You couldn't take a lot of photos. They would take a photo of you in the living room in front of the magical fireplace, and so that was really nice. But another time that I took it, I got to go up upstairs above the firehouse into Walt's personal apartment, where he and his family used to be.
Okay.
And he had a grilled cheese maker.
Oh.
And there was like where he could put all of his, chili. And what really impressed me was he had multiple shower heads in his bathroom, in his shower.
What?
In 1955. I was like, this man was just so amazing.
Wow.
Just an innovator. So I was so impressed by that.
And he actually stayed there, right? Like, I mean, he did stay there once in a while or something, or?
Oh, no. He stayed there all the time. Absolutely.
Oh, really?
He would, yeah, he would leave the studio on a Friday, and he would go up, drive down to Anaheim, and then he would spend the night and, be in the park on Saturday. And, just make sure everything was going well.
Nice.
So no, his whole family was there. And then Lillian was a huge fan of roses, and they used to go on a lot of antique buying trips. There's a lot of antiques in there that they bought, and it's very Victorian and lots of roses, and it's really pretty.
Sounds totally your style, actually. I mean, with the Victorian and just saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh gosh. I still get $20 for that welcome one. That's amazing. And the walking in Walt Footsteps. Now, that one, is that one not a little bit longer? than the others? I would
It's a
think
little
it
bit
would be.
longer, and you also get lunch. You get a
Oh,
lunch from the Jolly Holiday Cafe,
nice,
and you get
nice.
to get a sandwich or a salad. You
Okay.
get a dessert and a drink. I usually get a sandwich, and they have homemade potato chips,
Oh,
and I
wow.
get the flourless chocolate cake. I know it's really good.
Oh, gee. And
Yeah, so
yeah, and is it there that now I've seen something about tomato soup and a special grilled cheese sandwich. Is that was that like
that's
after
the
Walt?
Jolly Holiday combo. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the Jolly
okay.
Holiday combo. It's
Okay.
tomato basil soup with
Okay.
a grilled cheese sandwich.
Mm.
And yeah, I just finished that recipe yesterday, and
Okay.
I shot a video of it. So yeah,
Oh, that sounds delicious.
you'll
Now,
get to see it later.
okay. Well, now I'm thinking that'd be a really nice, quick, easy dinner for sure, you know? But
Yes,
ah,
absolutely.
wow. Okay. So and you know, did you have to book quite a ways out for the walk-in wall? I'm just asking about that one particular because I haven't been able to book that yet. But I mean,
You
I don't
can book 30 days out for the tours.
30 days. Okay. That's good to know.
Either 30, yeah, 30 or 60. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I can't remember now. Gosh, I haven't been on one in a
Oh,
while.
that's all right.
I
Okay.
know.
Gosh. So next
And then
tour. Yeah.
yes, well, I went on the Wild Africa trek in Walt Disney World when the kids and I went a couple of years ago, and it was kind of a last minute idea to do this, and we ended up doing it on the very first day we were there at Animal Kingdom, and it ended up being the highlight of our entire trip. The kids
Really?
just absolutely loved it. Yes,
So what did you
it's a
do?
really
Yeah, what did you do?
they they put you in a harness, a vest and a harness,
Okay.
and you're like, why am I in this? And you go on a trail, and they hike you up to the hippopotamus pit, to their little pond, and you are standing over their pond, and you have to be latched on to a wire so you can feed the hippos some lettuce. So you're
Oh,
pretty close to them. You're
uh,
suspended a little above them, and so you get to learn about the hippos and see them up close.
oh my goodness. And you know, as cute as they are, they're actually quite dangerous, aren't they? Right? I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're up about 10 to 12 feet above them, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. And the other reason you need the harness is because you get to go on a suspension bridge over the alligator pit,
Oh my gosh. Seriously? Oh my
and
gosh.
you walk by yourself, and it looks like a rickety old bridge. Actually, there's two bridges, and you have to walk over the alligators, and they are directly underneath you.
Oh my gosh.
And it's very exciting and a lot of fun. And the kids just thought that was the best thing ever. And they take your picture. That's another great thing about this tour is they have a photographer that follows you guys the
Oh,
entire
okay.
time you're on the tour and takes pictures of you and your family the whole entire time. So you don't have to worry about a camera. You don't have
Oh,
to, take photos. It's wonderful. It's really nice. And
oh
then they take you
gosh.
out on a safari truck, and you don't have to sit down. You can stand up and take photos of the animals on the savannah, but those are also included in the photo package.
Oh wow.
And then they take you for this gourmet, either a breakfast or a lunch, depending on what time of day that you go on the tour. And it's served in this gorgeous silver tiffin that is,
Mm.
it has three different layers. And
Oh,
it's just, they have gorgeous
wow.
orchids that, adorn this amazing meal. And it's just wonderful. And you're sitting on a deck that overlooks the savannah and all the
Oh,
animals.
wow. Holy
It's
cow.
so magical. Yeah, it was really
Oh
awesome.
man. And it was called the Wild Africa Trek, right? That's what it was called?
Wild Africa Trek. Uh huh.
Okay, because I think they still have that one for sure.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying. Want to go back to the alligator thing at the rope bridge because I think I'd be terrified. But if you go over that bridge, you have to go back right on the same bridge, or do you just have to go one time?
No,
Oh,
no, just the
oh,
one time. Just the
oh.
one time.
Okay,
But
okay.
you're hooked in. You're hooked on the harness. There's the bridge, and then even underneath the bridge, there's netting under the bridge.
Okay.
So you're
Oh
really not in
man.
any danger,
Right.
but it's really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say a little more exciting. It might be terrifying for some people. I just remember I had to go on an on two rope bridges in my life, and unfortunately, when you go to one side, you have to come back. So it's kind of good news that you only have
Right.
to do it once. Yeah,
It's just the
yeah,
ones. Yeah.
yeah. I remember
It's a
this.
one-way bridge.
Yeah, this one bridge we were on. We were in Roatan, Honduras, and the macaws. There was a sanctuary. They were dive bombing us, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah. And I mean, and we weren't haltered on or anything. And then another time I was in Ireland, I think it was Northern Ireland, and it was 85 feet up from the ocean, from the
Wow.
sea. And my kids wanted to go on it across the, to the island. I'm like, being the mom, I'm like, well, I'm not going to let them go there by themselves. I was the young guy doing the, ticketing or whatever. He must have saw the sheer terror in my face because he said, "Ma'am, if you need help, just let me know." I don't know how I did it, but I'm a little scared of heights. But you know what? I would do it knowing that I would, that's a once in a lifetime thing, over the
It is.
alligators.
It
But
is.
gee whiz,
Absolutely.
wow. I'm glad that it's always safety first at Disney,
Yeah, you're totally harnessed in. You're wearing the harness the
Good.
entire trip, and yeah, you're good.
Yeah, okay. Oh dear. Wow. I think I can imagine. Now that would have probably been a few hours, I would think, with
Yes,
what you're doing.
that's a few hours, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
And then,
wow.
well, we also did another tour in Walt Disney World. We did the Ultimate Thrills VIP tour,
Oh,
where it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and you go until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you hit three of the parks.
what?
And it's all yeah, and you get to go in a van backstage,
Ah,
and they transport you from all the different parks, and they get
wow.
you right into the lines. We went on the Rock and Roller Coaster. We went on Expedition Everest, Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, the dinosaur ride,
Wow.
um, Toy Story, Midway Mania.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that is amazing, and I think it's really neat. By the way, if you need some water, you're doing all the talking
Thank you. I'm
today.
sorry.
I always have my water, and I'm kind of
I need
lucky.
to cough in everybody's
Oh no,
ear.
but I'm lucky because I always have a water with me, and I should have warned you, you needed a water. But I think that's such a really, really amazing opportunity. And I know that we have only been behind the scenes twice actually, once in a van. It is the coolest experience to go behind the scenes, isn't it? And then you walk through a
Yes.
door that you normally wouldn't even see in the park, and you're like in the hub of everything. It's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
It is. And
Wow.
what's really nice is they give you these frozen washcloths that have been dipped in like essential oils. So
Oh.
if you get hot, you just unroll it and put this wonderful washcloth on you, and it
Ooh.
smells so good.
Oh
It has
my.
like lemongrass and orange, and oh, it's lovely.
Gee, I like that idea for my own self, my own home. Putting some frozen
I do.
frozen
I
water.
came home
Oh,
and I
do
made
you?
those, and I keep them in the freezer. Yeah, I do.
I'm going to do that too. I'll have to talk to you after the show sometime about doing that specifically. I love that idea. I think that's a great idea, especially there in Florida where
Yes,
it's so humid and hot,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, it was so hot. Absolutely.
Oh
And
my
we also
gosh.
got to go to lunch at the Brown Derby at
Oh my
Hollywood
god. Yeah,
Studios.
yeah, yeah. Oh
And
my
so we had
gosh.
reserved seating. We had our lunch all ready for us when we sat down, and it was
Nice.
just really nice.
You know what? I out of the different restaurants in at the Hollywood Studios. I was going to call it MGM. Can you believe it? Anyways, at Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios, that is the only place we have not eaten at. Like we've done Sci-Fi Diner, we've done the what is that, with the the
The 50s.
yes, primetime diner, there you go, yeah.
Yes.
But we've never made it the Brown Derby, but I remember somebody was there for Star Wars weekend, and they were sitting waiting for their table, and in walked Mark Hamill, and I guess they had quite a conversation,
Wow.
yeah, with Mark Hamill, and he was very gracious and all that. But I have to try the Brown Derby. I've got somebody on here, Patty. She loved the Brown Derby. She loves the Brown Derby, and Heather
Yes.
said she
Love the Brown Derby.
loves the bakery. I'm just looking at some of the mess people are commenting with some of some of your adventures. My goodness, wow, that the ultimate thrills. Now I don't know if they have that still. That's how many people would
I
be?
believe they do. I
Do
think I
they
saw it a couple
really?
months ago, and they
Very
do.
cool.
You have to
Wow.
look under the events and
Okay.
tours,
Okay.
and just click on the website, and it'll show up.
Okay. So the three parks you went to, obviously Animal Kingdom, Hollywood
Animal
Studios,
Kingdom, yes,
Hollywood Studios,
and
and
Magic
Magic
Kingdom.
Kingdom. Okay, right. Okay,
We just
makes
didn't go to
sense.
Epcot.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're revamping that. There's a lot of construction that I saw there in February, and so I guess you want to get as many attractions in as possible. But I think that's great.
Oh yeah.
So now, how many people would be on that tour at the same time? Because I'm thinking you're really moving it around if you were going to three different parks and to lunch. I'm just curious to know.
Yes. Well, it's 8 hours, and it's
Oh,
usually
wow.
they limit all of the tours to about 20, 25 people. I
Okay.
think that's the most that they will have. So if you have like
Okay.
a big group, a big family, like a family reunion or something, I would
Oh,
make reservations like first day they're available
yeah.
to make sure
Oh,
you get it.
yeah. Oh, what a fun thing to do with your family and friends, like, in your
Yes.
group. Oh, I love that idea. Oh, because
Well,
otherwise
that's
I'm
why
the
I
tour
started
guide.
going on these tours. Yeah, because I was an annual pass holder, and I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, there's got to be something else to be doing here. I must, there's other things. I know there's
right.
other things, so that's
Yeah.
how I started doing that.
Awesome. Wow. Oh gosh, I can't wait. Everybody's going to be checking into this. I should have booked all my tours ahead of time before
Exactly. We
the
should have
show.
discussed this before.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, I've just been on like the Cultivating the Magic tour 3 times, the Happiest Haunts tour 5 times, the Christmas tour I think 3 times, Walk and Waltz 3 times. So yeah, I
Wow.
tend to go on the ones that I love multiple times, and I love to share it because I go with either different family members or different friends that I really want to, share a really fun experience with them.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to see a different side of the park, because I know a lot of people, if they go, they have their own routine. They just want to get on as many rides as they can. And
Mm,
just being so blessed to be an annual pass holder, and I get to
hmm.
go like a couple times a month,
Yeah.
that, you want to do different things. You want to slow down and really look at all the details that went into this. And it's
Yeah.
just really incredible. People go, "Oh, don't you get tired of going, to Disneyland
Mm,
so much?" And I go, I really don't,
mm-mm.
because there's so much. There's really so many amazing things that you
Hmm.
miss. And
Yeah.
I've been going since 1967.
That's
So
amazing.
I've been going a lot.
Yeah. Well, and I'm an annual pass holder for both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and but I don't live near either of of the resorts. But it's something that I think that every day is a new day there. I mean, it's a new experience, and
It truly is.
you never know. I mean, even running into different people, just whatever, it's a very different
Hmm.
experience every single time we go. And I think that um we were fortunate. We did the Keys to the Kingdom tour at Walt Disney World, where we did actually go behind the scenes a little bit, and saw some of the floats that were being prepared for the Halloween party that evening. Actually, we decided to do the Halloween party that evening because it just looked. I thought I don't want to miss that parade. It was really neat, and we saw some of the botanists working with the plants, but we learned a lot about the you could say the whole creation of the park itself with a forced perspective on Main Street, where they make the buildings literally shrink as you go down, right?
Yes.
And
That's what you learn also on the Walk and Walt's Footsteps tour.
okay, and some of the windows, like who the windows belong to, and why their
Mhm.
names are on there, and even our tour guide, she actually had taken George Lucas and his family around, and so
Oh wow.
so you kind of get a little taste of whoever your tour guide is. You kind of learn a little bit here and there of other people that they've taken, and your tour guide's kind of life. And we ate as well. We had a nice little meal, and then we got I think it was a pin which is a key, a shape of a key for key to the
Mhm.
kingdom, which was lovely. But I'll never forget, we went, it wasn't a tour. We actually knew the he was in charge of the environmental recycling division at one point many years ago, and he took us around, and that's how one of the ways we were sort of behind the scenes all over the place and saw the recycling plant that Walt Disney World has, which is absolutely incredible and so clean and so tidy and so organized. But we also had a chance to see this, and this is why I would love to take that cultivating the magic tour, because uh, in Walt Disney World at Epcot particularly, I'll give that as an example. So the World Showcase, they have fairly large plants there. But what they
Mhm.
do is these trees that they have I'll take the Canadian Pavilion for an example. So they have these trees there that are sort of up in the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, but they're all in pots. These massive trees are in pots. So that,
Wow.
yeah, so that because they don't trim them, they just replace them. And
Isn't that
yeah,
amazing?
yeah, yeah. So in their nurseries, they have these, they look like full grown trees or full grown bushes or whatever, but the way the perspective is, they work that all in,
Mhm.
but they're all in these buckets, and I mean fairly heavy too, and so they change them out. Whereas I think some of the things they can't do that with, like when you think of the world of Pandora, Avatar. I mean, I remember the botanists that were trimming. They go in and trim stuff, and they started trimming stuff with wire. They realized
Oh
that those weren't
wow.
the real ones. But anyway, so I'd love to do that cultivating. I think that'd be really interesting. Just you know, another way of looking at the details that they have, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And being a gardener myself, I just absolutely love all that stuff and
yeah.
learning, all that I can about all of it, and how they even got all the plants when Disneyland first opened. They had
Oh,
to get super creative because plants are really expensive, and trees, and they didn't know where they were going to get everything. Like for
mm-hmm.
the Jungle Cruise, where Disneyland was built, it used to be orange groves, and
Okay.
they kept a couple of the orange grove trees. And what they did is they turned the orange trees upside down and put them inside the lagoon in the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, I love that
Yes.
idea. I love that idea. Okay.
And then there's a big giant banyan tree over by Pirates of the Caribbean. And it used to be over in a local oil field in Long Beach. And they were getting rid of their trees, and they called up Disney and wanted to know if he wanted any of the trees, and they got it. And what happened was is one of their pipelines was the tree was growing around this pipeline, and the pipe is still in the tree at
Oh,
Disneyland.
oh,
So
for
if you
crying
still,
out.
if you can kind of look, they had to cut the pipe and then, plant it with the pipe inside.
Oh,
So,
that's kind of
but it was a
neat.
free tree.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
for crying out loud. Now there is a tree. I'm trying to think here because you showed me, but you can tell everybody else because you would remember this more than me. But uh, Walt had given Lily a tree, correct? Or something? And there's
He
something new.
gave her a petrified tree.
Oh, petrified tree. I knew it wasn't growing, but I was trying to figure out
Petrified
what.
tree.
Okay,
No.
okay, okay,
It was one that he found in Colorado when they were on a trip to Colorado.
okay.
And a couple days before the park opened was their 35th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And Walt gave this to Lillian as an anniversary present. And she said, well, it's too big to fit on the mantle.
Yeah.
So it's in the middle of Frontierland. So that's
Right.
where its new
Yeah.
home is.
Yeah, and if people have a chance just to walk around and take those things in, because I you know what, I've passed by it, but I kind of didn't pay attention. That's terrible to say, but it's
Exactly.
good to
Mm-hmm.
pay attention because there is a story behind it all. Even the tree, now I'm trying to think if they do that at
The Dominguez palm. Do you remember the Dominguez palm story
yeah.
I told you?
Yeah, go ahead and share it with everybody because I'm not going to be able to say it.
Well, the Dominguez palm tree was also on the land when Disney bought it, before he bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And the farmer who owned the land said, well, I will sell this to you, Mr. Disney, if you promise me that you will save this palm tree. My grandparents were married under this palm tree, and it really means a lot to me that this will live on. And of course, he agreed to it.
Yeah.
So this palm tree is over by the Fast Pass station for Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
and it's still there.
Yeah.
And the farmer's grandson ended up being a cast member at Disneyland. He was in ride operations and worked his way up through the company and was a vice president. And so he has his own window above Starbucks on Main Street.
Oh, for crying out loud. Oh,
So there you
that
go.
lovely. Yeah. Gosh, you could do the tours. I'll hire you to do a tour. No.
I would love to be a plaid. When I grow up, I'm going to be a plaid.
Yeah. No kidding. And anybody that's listening, what we're referring to a plaid, those are the tour guides. They will wear the red and blue plaid with the D pin on there. It's a very revered position, and it's something that actually you don't necessarily. I believe you don't apply for it. You can tell that you can say you're interested, but you're offered it because of your outstanding work that you've been doing in the company already, I believe.
Yes, you have to work in guest relations for quite a while,
right?
To become a plaid.
Yeah. No, that's lovely. Heather on here is saying that she never gets tired. She's also a pass holder, but she loves the tree. And she said it's along the rivers of America near the Mark Twain boarding, which
yes, the petrified tree.
Yeah, exactly. And now there was another tree that I was thinking about, and I'm trying to think if there's one at Magic Kingdom, because I just kind of zoomed through there. I wasn't there to do too many of the parks when I was there in February, and it was the tree, Donna, somewhat near the petrified tree, but this one was living, and I believe they hung pumpkins on. I'm trying to think, did they hang?
Oh, the Halloween tree.
The Halloween tree. Okay.
The Halloween tree. Yes, because Walt Disney was friends with the author Ray Bradbury, who wrote the short story The Halloween Tree, and he always wanted to be a part of Disneyland.
Okay.
So there is a beautiful oak tree in Frontierland, right in between the Pioneer Mercantile and the Golden Horseshoe.
Right.
And every September, October, it is lit with all these gorgeous orange lights and pumpkins that have faces on them that were designed by Tony Baxter and Kim Irvine.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my daughter's favorite tree. She
I love that.
The Halloween tree.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that actually. Well, you told me about it when we were there.
Yes, we were together.
Yeah.
I think you took my picture in front of it.
I think so too. I was trying to think if they have it in Magic Kingdom. I don't think they do in Magic Kingdom. I think it's just at Disneyland.
I don't think they do. I think that's solely for Disneyland.
Right.
But there's also another really awesome tree that is in Batuu in Galaxy's Edge, and it's called the Hope Tree. And it was a tree that they had to move when they got rid of the Big Thunder Ranch area, which is
Okay.
where Galaxy's Edge is now.
Yeah.
And they set it aside, and they thought it was going to die, and they're like, "Well, just keep it here," and it uh, came back to life.
Hmm.
So they decided to plant the tree over where you make the lightsabers, and it has all these beautiful, colorful ties that are in on the branches and everything. So that's
Oh,
the hope tree.
gotcha. I was wondering what those ties were on there for. Well, hey, if it comes
Yes.
back to life, that's they should keep it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they
Oh,
did. So the cast
nice.
members put like, their little hopes, and then they tied the little
Oh,
colorful ribbon on the branches.
I love that idea. I really like that idea. Just even I'm just thinking about even something people could do in their class, like teachers could do in their classrooms, or you could even do that at home, like something like that.
Anything,
I
absolutely.
like
You
that
could do it in
idea.
memory of someone, or the
Yeah.
birth of a child, or,
Yeah.
and then just kind of put commemorative things on the tree.
I
That would be
love
lovely.
that. I love that. Well, Donna, you are such a Disney girl. Like honestly, it
Yes.
and even like as I said, every time that I've been to Disneyland, I have seen something different, and it was so fun. The last time, by the way, guys, the last time I was at Disneyland was in January, celebrating Donna's birthday, and
Yeah.
we had so much fun that day, and she has some lovely friends that we all just had we really had such a good time. We all clicked. Of course, we're all Disney girls, right? But
Yes, absolutely.
but I had,
Mhm.
I'll never forget, I'd not ever seen that tent where they do the big band, the swing dance, the Lindy Hop that they do.
Yes, I know.
That
Is
was
that fun?
so fun, and
Yes,
I love the Phantasmic shows. I particularly like the Phantasmic at Disneyland because of the
it's the
pirate
best.
ship. I love it.
Yeah.
I really love that whole pirate ship. And Donna was very gracious to go with me while the others went off and did a few other things to go to the Phantasmic show. I was grateful that you could do it
Well,
because
Fantasmic is one of my favorites, so
yeah, yeah.
it was not a stretch for me
Yeah.
to go with you, actually.
Well, I didn't think so, but I sure loved it and I sure appreciated that. So, Donna, I have to ask you this because we're Disney dreaming tonight, and I'm
Okay.
curious to know if money was no object, and you guys at home can join in here too. If money was no object, what would be your dream vacation? What would be your dream vacation?
A Disney vacation?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because
So
we're the Disney show, so
right, of course, of course. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would love to go on an Adventures by Disney. They have special
Oh,
tours all over the world,
yeah.
and I know they have one at Christmas time in Europe, and you can go
Oh.
and make stops in like Germany and learn how to make pretzels, and stop in Austria and look at all the beautiful
Oh.
decorations and how they make their ornaments. And so I would love to go on
Oh.
one of those European Adventures by Disney trips. I think that would be fabulous.
Wow. I never thought about an Adventures by Disney. I don't know why, because I was trying to think about my dream vacation too. I like your dream.
Mm.
I like your
Oh,
dream better than what I came up with. Oh my gosh. I think about I've not been to Europe in the Christmas season, but I'll never forget when our daughter, oh my gosh, she had just turned 18 and she went to the University of London. She flew to London. Her class at college at the time, she had the opportunity. It was one of her dreams, and we made it happen to go study abroad. And the countries, because they're so close, to London, and that they had a 4-day school week, and then every weekend she was at a different country. And I'll never forget, she had come back the beginning of December, but her last weekend she actually was in Switzerland doing a chocolate
mm.
making class. Oh my gosh, I
Oh
know, can you
yeah, sign me
imagine?
up.
I know. And when you started saying this about the European Adventures by Disney, that just kind of grabbed my attention. Something that well, I'm going to put away what I had thought about because well, maybe I'll share that anyway. So but now you got me thinking about a different Disney dream. I guess I could have two, right? But so I had thought of a Disney dream vacation would be really fun to do with my family and 25 others. Like I've never kind of gone to Disney like with a group of select friends and family members, and
Mhm.
do the VIP experience tours. Go to Club 33 at Disneyland, then hop over to Walt Disney World and do all that, and then hop on a cruise because we've done stuff with our family, not all at once like that, but I think it would just be fun to do it with a large group and have everything taken care of for you.
Yes. Yes,
But
absolutely.
what one thing that we had really thought about doing this summer, but it's not going to happen this summer, but maybe next summer, or 2 years from now, whatever, is I really, really wanted to do a Disney cruise in Europe because anytime that we have been in Europe, it's always been for an Irish dance competition. And, so you do the competition, you're there, you're in total competition mode, and then you go and tour around, but you're still, driving around on those streets in various countries, or you're taking planes or the train, you're dealing with food, all of that. And I just love, love, love the idea of being on a Disney cruise ship and you can go off each day would be almost a different country and you could do the
Right.
European thing, right? And then you come back and you got your Disney stateroom and your Disney everything going on. That
Right.
I think would be my ultimate thing to do.
Well, that's what they do with the Adventures by Disney. It's like they take care of all the reservations,
Uh
all the tours, everything. It's just so amazing. And then
gee.
a couple like you're on your own for breakfast one day, or you're on your own for lunch, and you can
Right.
go off and do whatever you want. But they can get you into places that you probably wouldn't be able to get into.
See, I like that
So it's just
idea.
very
Yeah.
personal. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, gee, I think I'm going to be. I'm going to look into a few things here, Donna, now, because that I just like the idea of things being taken care of. That's why I love the cruise ships.
Mhm.
I really miss cruising with Disney because they just do it so easily. It's so easy, especially I don't know as moms, taking care of the way things we do. It's just nice
Mhm.
to
Yep.
not worry about food. Like food is available 24/7, and you can even order it in your room if you desire,
Right.
and the only thing you have to pay for is that can of pop or soda or whatever, like it's
Mhm.
just easy. But why did I forget about the Adventures by Disney? That's kind of crazy because that's something I
Yeah,
think.
they're all over the world. They even have them here
Yeah.
in the US.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. And things that you wouldn't normally be able to do on your own. I think that is
exactly.
something that really
They're
okay.
very unique vacations, and that's
Yeah.
what I love.
Yeah.
It's they give you an experience with all that Disney magic that,
Yeah.
we love,
Yeah.
and, they just make it really special
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
going to a Disney park.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah, I love
oh
it.
yeah. I think that if you I don't know about you, but well you probably aren't like this because you've got Disneyland in your doorstep practically, but the rest of us that don't live near Disney Park, I don't know, have you guys ever just like gone into a Disney store to pretend you're in a park? Cuz I do. It's like
I do.
oh
Sure.
you still do? Oh, even with
I
Disneyland.
do. Oh,
Okay, okay. I
absolutely.
yeah, I just and every
No,
any yeah, go ahead.
I was watching a YouTube video. Somebody was doing just a walkthrough of Disneyland. He was just walking through
Oh.
Disneyland, and I would just like walk in place in my family room, watching it on my big screen,
Uh,
pretending that I was at Disneyland. I did that
yeah.
last week, and my
Did
kids are like,
you?
"What are you doing?" I go, "I'm at Disneyland."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can maybe pop some popcorn,
leave
make
me
a
alone.
couple of
I'm at
churros or
Disneyland.
whatever. Yeah. Well, I think it would be really neat with the VR goggles if they had something like that. Wouldn't it be awesome? I mean, they
Oh,
must.
that would be awesome.
I know, and just to, I don't know. how we could really emulate a fake trip like that besides the VR thing. But I mean, I would think if you have some popcorn on hand, if you have some churros on hand, and with the
Yes.
VR, you've got the music and you've got the different things, you know.
Well, Disney did release their churro recipe, so you guys can make that.
you
They
know,
also released their Dole Whip recipe. And I just bought the Pop Secret popcorn and their popping oil, the Luana popping oil that Disney uses. So I'm going to be doing that for my popcorn. So yeah,
oh
I'm
my
kind of all set
gosh.
here.
My gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get that recipe for the Dole Whip and the churros because I think there's people will create recipes like that, but I don't know if you
Hmm.
know what the exact ones are because and if you want to post those you know on my site,
Oh, okay.
feel free
Oh,
to
I'd love
because
to. Sure.
I then I know where I can get them all the time. I'm just gonna have my assistant here go out and get our little one to introduce to the world here.
Oh,
Yeah,
so cute.
she is, you know, it's so fun to have another little one around and you know, by the time we get to our Disney park, she'll be, you know, be quite, you know, quite settled in, I would think, and
Yes.
that but I just really I just think it's so amazing like the different tours and that you've been able to go on them multiple times because I mean I've as I said I've only been on one tour and then I
Right.
happened to sort of be I did do a VIP experience actually quite a few years ago but that was just sort of by accident in a way we had been at a gala event under the Saturn V actually at Kennedy Space Center and they had
Wow.
a silent auction. Yeah, and so they had a day with a an astronaut at Disney, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I mean, I love Disney. I love the space program. I didn't care for 2,000 live 2,000 miles away. We went, you know, we entered it and we won it,
Yep.
and it was a really neat experience to do a behind the scenes VIP experience. And I wish I would have thought it through more because I would have done a lot more than what I did. I would have been
Right.
going zipping
Right.
all over. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't
You
do
just
as
went for the tour. That was
well. I know
it.
it was just great. It was really good fun. But anyways, Donna, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It's
Oh, you're so
always
welcome.
great to have you on, and I look
Thank
forward to
you.
spending some time. I know Dawn and I are doing with some folks a sing along, right? The Sound of Music sing along in
Yes, in
September.
September, the Hollywood
Yeah,
Bowl. Yep.
yeah. So I'm excited about that because you know honestly that it's you have been to so many things growing up in California, but for an Alberta girl, I mean those things seemed so out of the equation for years, right? And now I'm south of the border, so I'm a little closer, but still, I really look forward to experiencing the Hollywood Bowl and other things down there, you know, that I hope to do in the next little while.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
I'm so glad you're coming, and I
yeah.
hope we can have a Disney day and
Oh
maybe
yes.
even go on the Walk and Walt's Footsteps tour together.
Oh
That would
my
be fun.
gosh. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, we've got time to plan for sure. But yeah, anyway. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, please put those churro recipes up because I'm gonna make some. The boys are in
Okay.
their finals this week and I think they could handle a treat like that to get them through the last
That would
little
be
bit.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Donna. Okay, you take care. All
Okay,
right.
sweetie.
Okay.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Oh gosh, that was so lovely to have Donna on. And as promised, I'm going to share our little one here. Um, okay, this is this is Goslin, and she is not too sure about things. I'm trying to show you her face, but she is a real special and little one. She is not too sure what she's doing here, but she is a real cuddle bug, and I'm very grateful. And I know that we had not known a couple weeks ago that we were going to have this little one, but she's managed to wiggle herself into our lives, and I love her huge paws here. This is just a wire haired, and a lot of people thought that she was a cross between a Schnauzer and a Dachshund, but actually, uh, they're kind of hard to come by. There's not very many breeders in the U.S. and she's almost 6 months old. And the breeder that I got her from is also a judge in the dog world, and he has had a few things going on in his life and needed to find a home for a couple of his dogs. So very grateful to have our little Gosselin with us now. And you have met our other dogs that we've had as well. But anyway, so this is Gosselin. So I just want to thank all of you guys again for joining me tonight. And we had a little bit of a longer show than I thought, but really hope you got a lot of good ideas out of that. Some Disney at home ideas, and even just a little bit of dreaming doesn't hurt anybody. So I also just before I go, I want to acknowledge again my Facebook folks, all of you guys out there. I see Abigail is joined and Janet is on, and there's been a few of you that I haven't been able to say hello to. And my Twitch folks, Pacino Fan 88 says Disney is great, and it sure is, and it makes my heart smile. And I'm going to make sure I check out that churro recipe. I think Donna will be putting that on either this page, or if you guys follow me, you can find me also with my regular Disney profile with the Minnie Mouse polka dots around. But anyways, guys, thank you again. I want to wish you a very wonderful week. Stay safe, be well, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.